All right, 1 second here.
This meeting is being recorded.
Mr. White, you're all set. Have a good meeting.
Okay. Good evening. Just to make sure everyone's aware, we are recording this meeting for the Scituate Board of Health, Wednesday, December 28th at 6 p.m., a Zoom meeting. Kelly, how do you vote? Accept the agenda?
Accept the agenda, yes.
Okay, and Doug votes yes. All right, to start, schedule items, discuss and vote septic design hearing, 327 Central Ave, Morel Engineer and Land Surveyors representing homeowner request for installation of a septic system requiring local upgrades and variances.
Okay,
So-
I think we have Josh Bowes on that we can let in because he's going to discuss the
Yep.
plan.
Yes. Hello, my name is Joshua Bowes from Merrill Engineers. I apologize for the sort of informal background and the image. I'm on vacation actually, so if there's anything in the background that's not professional, I just want to apologize ahead of time. I didn't want to. I want to have the meeting. We missed the last meeting, so I want to try and go forward without continuing again, out of respect for everybody's time.
Okay.
I believe the board has seen this project. Do I have the ability to share my screen?
Yes.
Joshua, you will in a moment,
Thank you.
and you should be able to now.
Okay. So can everybody see that?
Yes.
Yep.
Thank you. So I believe, so I'm coming into this sort of in the middle. As everybody may be aware, Josh Green from our office had started the initial design and went through the permitting of this project. It's located at 327 Central Ave. And Josh has since moved on. He works for another company now. So I've taken this project over, and I'm trying to get this across the finish line. So bear with me. I don't have, all the history that Josh would have, but I try to get as much as I could from him. I believe the board may have seen this plan in one form or a very similar form to this. We have made a couple of minor revisions to it since then. I believe the board, in fact, may have already voted on a couple of the local upgrade approvals, but I want to kind of look forward and just kind of present what we have, what the current state of the plan is, what we're requesting, and then trying to answer any questions the board may have. So we are looking, there's an existing home on the property. The applicant would like to rebuild the existing home in the same general location. We've gone through the Conservation Commission permitting process and received an order of conditions. And we've submitted a number of plans to the Board of Health. And tonight we're seeking the board's approval of four local upgrade approvals for the siting of the septic system. So the house is, again, sort of generally centered on the lot. It's in the middle, sort of where the existing home is. We've tucked the proposed septic system on the front left corner of the lot. And it's in the general vicinity of an existing leaching field that's right along the property line. The tank, bear with me, I gotta move everybody. The tank and the septic pump chamber are in the rear of the property, currently behind the existing home. So what we're seeking from the board tonight is four local upgrade approvals. Number one is request a reduction in the front setback from the soil absorption system front property line from 10 feet to 1 foot, and that is to the right of way. We're also requesting a setback reduction from the soil absorption system to the slab from 10 feet to 8.6 feet. And we're requesting a setback reduction from the soil absorption system to the cellar from 20 to 16.7 feet. Lastly, we're requesting a reduction from the septic tank to the property line from 10 feet to 8.1 feet. The one thing I do want to point out is I believe through the department, this project was reviewed by two other engineers as it relates to the septic system. There was actually two other engineers that worked with the Conservation Commission reviewing the drainage and stormwater. But I believe the health department had asked two other engineers to review it as it pertains to Title V in your local rules and regulations. And I did receive their comments, and I did issue two response letters to their comments. I'm assuming that Joan shared those with the board. I'd be happy to review any of those comments, questions, concerns relative to their comments and our response. So with that being said, I'm going to stop and try and answer any questions the board may have on this.
Okay. Should we see if there's anyone else that has questions or concerns to this? Or do you want to go first?
Yeah, there looks like there's some people on there. You should probably take the questions.
Okay. Let me see if I can find out who it is.
So Mr. White, we have two options. If you're in here to comment on this, you could raise your hand, or you do have the ability to unmute yourself and start your video so we could see you. If you'd want to do that, we do ask you just state your name, address, and then go ahead with your comment. Yes, there you go. Just your name, address, and your comment, please.
My name is Lori Talanian. I'm at 332 Central Ave, directly across the street. And I just didn't know if this was gonna be the only time to speak. I, for one, would like to speak at the end and hear all the information first, because we've received very little information. And I'm just, I am concerned that if you're looking for 4 variances, it makes me think that, the property, of course, we want them to be able to build a beautiful home there, but it seems like the home might be too big for the small land if you're looking for 4 variances just for a septic system. So that's my only concern, but I need to hear more to understand what's actually happening.
Okay. Is there anyone else?
Mr. White, right now you have no one else that wants to comment.
Okay. So I'm sorry, is it Laura?
Lori.
Lori?
Hi.
Okay. So I believe this has been out before in front of us, and there were some revising that they looked at, and as Joshua mentioned, the other guy has moved on. But I think this has gone to Concon to approve, and that I guess I'm not sure what other sometimes, and correct me if I'm wrong, Drew or Joan, when these come, we have guidelines, and if it's something to do with the, from their sides of the building, and it doesn't have to do with that, it's just the footage and stuff might have to change from what the guidelines are. So I think that's when they come in and they ask for the reductions or, approval.
The other,
I understand.
yeah, the other part is because of Hummerock being, such a difficult place to cite Title V. I mean, if there was going to be a new house where there'd never been a house there before, they wouldn't be able to get any variances. But because these houses have all been there for years and years and years, and Title V was, I believe, updated early 2000s, so that, we try to do these as best we can to make sure that they fit into the spots. But Hummerock historically has always been saddled with variances from Title V.
I know, but what I'm seeing is the property basically doubling. So therefore, the absorption for a septic tank is less. It's coming down the side of somebody's house now on both sides. So on the side of a property line now, the absorption has, because we're taking so much land up, there could be an absorption problem. That's what I'm looking at. And I could be completely wrong. I need to understand this part of it. I tried to bring this up before through the conservation, and they're like, this is a Board of Health issue, not a conservation issue. So that's why I'm asking.
Josh, did you have, yeah.
Yeah, I completely understand your concerns and respect them. Through the chair, I'm sorry, through the chair. That's okay, Mr. Chen.
Yeah.
So I think it's not a case where we're trying to fit too big of a house on the property. I think the size, the existing size of the land area is the limiting factor. the septic system currently is located in the same general location, and we're moving it further away from the property line with the new proposed design. The other thing that's pushing us towards these local upgrade approvals is not the size of the house necessarily. It's the environmental concerns that the commission has in trying to move the septic system as far away from the resource areas as possible. So that's really a big change, where currently the tanks are back in behind the 50-foot buffer to the wetlands, the septic tank and the pump chamber. We're moving that as far away as we can, almost outside of the 100-foot buffer of the wetlands. So the other thing to point out is while the house in size may be bigger, which is true, you're absolutely right. What Title V looks at is the flow to the septic system, and that's what we're not changing. So the current house is a 3-bedroom home, and we're maintaining a 3-bedroom home. We're not looking to increase the size of the number of bedrooms, which would therefore increase flow. So from a standpoint of how much flow is being introduced to this lot, that's not changing with this new design. So, and I know it may look like it because it's a bigger house, but
Yeah.
it's measured in bedrooms.
So are the bedrooms are you counting bedrooms as in like all the bedrooms that don't have closets? Are those included? Like there's all extra, are those not counted in the space?
Through the chair, if I may.
Yep.
Yeah, so the bedroom count, Title V has a definition of bedroom count in it, and we're basically abiding by that bedroom count. As we all know, the house that was built in 1950, 60, or 70 really had smaller rooms. They utilize the house differently, and nowadays every room in the house is a bigger scale. Kitchens are larger. Obviously now with COVID, the home offices are really important part of a home right now, and that's one thing that over the garage that the applicant's trying to create with this. So this is a retirement home for the applicant and his wife, and that's what it's intended to be, and that's how it's designed. So we are meeting the definition of bedroom that's within Title V.
So if this goes through, you couldn't go in and just add, once everything goes through and like a month later after this goes through, they can't just put closets in those rooms, and now they've got 5 bedrooms?
No, not without permits, and it's not really laid out for that whatsoever. No.
And it will be a garbage disposal?
No garbage disposal.
So the square footage is going from what to what exactly?
That's a good question. I don't have that on our plan, so I could get back to you with that information. I didn't calculate the footprint or the square footages. That would be more of an architectural calculation. Let me see if I can pull that while we're trying to answer other questions. I will.
There's someone.
Yep,
There's
Mr.
someone
White, you
else
do have
that-
another hand raised. We're going to try to take care of that right now.
Yeah.
Your name is user. Can you just identify your name, address, and go ahead with your comment?
Yeah, thanks very much. Sorry, I tried to time in earlier. My name's Erin Cave. We are next door neighbors at 325 Central Ave. And, my only real question is super hard from the designs to see what's changing in terms of the septic system. And it sounds like what you just said, it's getting moved further away. Did I hear that right? Obviously, we just were concerned with the property line and making sure that if something were to overflow, we're making sure that everything will be fine. But I think you just said that it was going to be further away than it is now.
Through the chair, may I?
Yep. Go ahead, Jeff.
Yes, so the septic system that currently exists is about 2 feet from your property line. And so we're moving the septic system almost 5.5 feet from your property line, further away from your property line. We're also, we've shown contours and grading on the plan. We've also have notes indicating the same on the plan that, makes it very obvious and very clear to the contractor that there is to be a swale on our property along the property line, so that there's no runoff from our property onto your property that would impact your septic system, your driveway, or your property. So to answer your question, it's being moved further away from your property.
Great, thank you.
Anyone else have any other questions?
Mr. White, you have no
Joan,
other
any-
hands raised.
Okay, Joan, anything?
We sent it out for an engineering review, and Josh, and some of our concerns was the property line, and that's why with the adding the swale. And he's addressed all the issues that the external engineer has addressed, so we feel pretty confident with what we have here.
Okay.
In May, we did ask, for the size of the house. But they still have to ask for variances, whether or not, no matter what size this is going to be there, because of the tight property line, they're still going to have to ask for some kind of variance, and they are pulling it away from the water. So it's in a better location, but any housing issues with the size of the house should really be addressed with building and the zoning department, because they're the ones that really make those decisions and give the approvals for the building of the house. So those should be addressed through them. As far as we're concerned, this meets Title V, and that's what the Board of Health is to do.
Okay. If no one else, Kelly, do you want to make a proposal?
Yes, I suggest that we move to approve the septic repair plan for 327 Central Ave with the local upgrades requested that include the request from the required 10-foot setback to 1 foot from the SAS to the property line, the request from the 10-foot setback to 8.6 feet from the SAS to the slab foundation, the request from the required 20-foot setback to 16.7 feet from the SAS to the cellar foundation, and the request from the required 10-foot setback to 8.1 feet from the septic tank to the property line.
Okay, and I second. And Kelly, how do you vote?
Yes.
And Doug votes yes. So with that, Joshua, you're all set.
Thank you very much, everybody, for your time
Thanks,
tonight.
Joshua.
Appreciate it. Happy
Have a
New Year.
great, happy
Have a
New
good
Year.
vacation.
Thank you.
All right. With that, old business, anything? New business. Okay. Director's report.
Director's report, we have 23 plans under 45-day review, 7 to Concom, 5 waiting for engineer revisions, 20 as-built we have 23 in failure right now. We are in the midst of COVID, RSV, and flu season all at the same time. They're all kind of peaking together right now. So with that, I just like to say, it's not too late to get your flu shots. We are still giving flu shots out here at the Board of Health on Wednesdays and Thursdays. If you call beforehand, you can come down and you can get your flu shot. You can also check in with all of the pharmacies in town. And it's also not too late to get your COVID-19 booster shot that will protect you against the new variants that are out there. So we're really trying to encourage people, especially, we're coming, it is the winter season. We're in a lot more. We're just coming through the holidays. We do expect to see numbers rise a little bit. But that's where we are. We're just still trying to encourage people to get vaccinated. It's not too late. The Scituate Fire Department the Scituate Police Department is also running a blood drive on Sunday, January 8th from 8 a.m. until 2:30, and it is down at 800 Chief Justice Cushing Highway, right at the new headquarters down there. And if you call 617-632-3206, they will hook you up, and they are accepting walk-ins also. But, it's a great way to help out. So the Scituate Police Department is going to be doing a blood drive January 8th, 8 to 2:30. Also, we are still working with Hingham and Cohasset on the Public Health Excellence Grant. We are in the process of putting out a resume for a shared public health nurse that will be utilized during for the 3 communities. Right now, we have 1 nurse in Scituate that's just part-time, 4 hours on Wednesday and 4 hours on Thursday. So this will be a great way to supplement, you know, when she's on vacation or if we have anything else going on. So it's going to be a really good addition, and that resume will be going out after the first of the year for the people to come in and apply for it. With that, that's all we have right now. I know that we do have some minutes that need to be approved also.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see anything in the minutes. Kelly, did you see?
I read them and I did not see, nothing stood out to me either.
Okay, so I guess make a motion to accept the minutes, if you would.
Yes, motion to accept the minutes from November 28th, was it?
Yeah,
November 14th.
And
And
November
14th.
14th.
And Doug votes yes. Kelly, how do you vote?
Yes.
All right. Administrative invoices approval.
We have 3 administrative invoices, 1 for a recording fee for one of the betterment programs that we have done for $107. And then we have 2 for perk tests, $280 each.
Okay, I approve.
I do as well.
Okay,
All right, any other business or anything other than that?
that is
I'll
it.
make a motion. I'll make a motion to end the meeting of the Scituate Board of Health for Wednesday, December 28th. Second,
Second,
and Doug votes yes. Kelly, how do you vote?
yes.
All right. Other than that, guys, have a great new year. Be safe.
Thank you.
Happy
everyone.
New
Have a
Year.